Alright guys, I figured I should probably give a update on the cxracing turbo kit for my Honda S2000. This is a AP1. It states that it's for AP2, but it really fits on either one. I've been doing a little bit of work. One thing to note is the intercooler piping fits perfect with your OEM radiator and fans. Like, no issues at all. As soon as I put this aftermarket radiator in with this slim fan and shrouds, the piping did not fit. And I ended up adding an extension, which worked for a while, but it hung really low. As you can see, I definitely hit something on it. It was still holding together, but it did also wear through the coupling. Must have rubbed through, like right where the frame is. And it had a boost leak there. So that's one thing I figured out. The bolts on, I guess, the hot side, they started backing out. So all 4 bolts were loose. Obviously, I wasn't paying attention. I had a couple manifold bolts come loose. So what happened? I also was not happy with my stage 4 competition clutch. So I originally was just going to replace that. And then I was like, maybe I need a single exit exhaust. So now I have the HKS, what is it? HKS single 3-inch going back there. The dump tube for the wastegate still awesome. The exhaust piping is still fine. The manifold hasn't cracked yet. Really, the only issue I had was these bolts backing out. How I could have avoided that, I'm not really too sure. I'm using my own hardware, and I have little lock washers on there, but I don't know. Maybe I just need to check it every now and then. A lot of people ask how my coolant lines are ran. So you have this hose that comes off the head and goes to the throttle body, I believe, right under where the intake hose goes in. So what I did is I removed that hose. I ran this side into the turbo, and then the way out goes into the throttle body. So all it really does is just bridge that, pretty much. Very simple, very fast to figure out and do. I relocated my wideband sensor to this port because it was down like in the test pipe before. I use the Greddy blow-off valve and the Turbo Smart Hypergate 45 wastegate. Those are working good still. I've talked to people that have kept the original stuff from the cxracing kit and didn't have any issues, so I guess that can be preference there. But yeah, so I'm going with the OEM clutch disc, and I need to figure out how to make just a little bit of clearance for the intercooler piping. Haven't really looked into that yet. Also, another thing is my oil line. I used to run it where the oil sensor under the manifold and above the oil filter. There's an oil sensor down in here. Right there. You can see that oil sensor. Well, what I did is I got a T-fitting and I screwed the oil sensor in here and then my turbo feed line one on this side. It was like that under there. And then it ran under, and it was like I got my own line as well. It was an 18-inch feed line instead of the really long one that they supply. And it worked really good, but it always had a very slight leak, and I hated it. So I was messing with it one day, and I decided to just completely remove it so I can, try to come up with something better. And it snapped off in the block. So that sucked. I managed to extract the piece out. I don't know where it is. I extracted it out, and I was gonna try to buy something like this, but shorter, because this is too long. And that wasn't really working out, and I was like, you know what? I should probably just spend the money and get the Science of Speed oil filter relocation kit. And it also gives you a Acura NSX Honda filter instead of your S2000 filter, which this is just bigger and flows better. Pretty much it goes in where your oil filter normally would. And then you have this little line right here, which is what you can use for your turbo feed. So it simplifies putting a line on. I can access it. I know it's going to seal better. The oil filter is easier to access. You do have enough room to access your oil filter with this kit, unlike other turbo kits. But this is just the fancier way to do it, pretty much. And I decided, I've been thinking about getting it for so long, I should just get it done. So this will be my new oil feed line situation. And with this setup and the line having to go a little bit lower, I ordered this feed line that is a 24-inch feed line, and it should be perfect from what I've kind of mocked up. But yeah, when I look inside of my intercooler piping, I see 0 oil, 0 moisture, which is a good sign that, my turbo is not passing any oil or any coolant. I don't have any, well, I would pull it off and show you, but you'll just have to take my word for it. But, the turbo seems healthy. The manifold has no cracks in it yet. I feel like a lot of manifolds crack, even the high-end ones, so if it does crack, I'm not going to be that upset because I'm kind of expecting it a little bit. Yeah, everything's been holding together just fine. The, exhaust pipe, I don't know. The downpipe has been holding up fine. It bolts right up to your factory exhaust or, your test pipe and your catback. Yeah. One thing I need to do is relocate these guys. That's probably next on the list once I get my drivability going a little bit better. I'm hoping the exhaust is a little bit louder with the single exit over the double exit. But yeah, I thought I should just give you guys some kind of a overview, update, something. It made 469 on the dyno with E85 at 14 psi. We had to stop because my clutch was slipping. It was an OEM clutch at the time. I was supposed to go back, and I never went back because, to me, the car was fast enough at 469, and my goal is 500 anyways. kind of debating going back and maybe getting 500, 550 next time around. So maybe that'll be to come once it's sorted out everywhere else. I also got the car painted, which is nice. Kind of got rid of the imperfections. I got rid of my aftermarket wheels and just got some AP2 wheels that fit perfect and hold the same tire sizes. The old wheels are actually on the Subaru now, so that worked out for the wife. She got a free upgrade, and they came out pretty good. She sandblasted them, and then I painted them in a shed, and probably have cancer now, but I'm actually pretty happy with how they came out. We got that classic gold color on a blue Subaru. So yeah, that was just the quick update on the S2000, how it's doing. Mostly how the turbo kit's doing. So far, I mean, literally the only issue I've had with the turbo kit is the bolts coming loose. I don't really know that that's just a cxracing problem, or if that just kind of happens on other stuff, or maybe I put it together like crap. Who really knows? But yeah, thank you for watching.